Shock twist. Brian Laundrie's sister Cassie revealed on video her brother did fly home to Florida after his police-involved fight with Gabby Petito in Utah. As the search for Gabby Petito's fiance continues, Cassie Laundrie finally broke her silence to insist she doesn't know if her parents are linked to her brother's disappearance. While speaking to NewsNationNow's Brian Entin outside her Florida home, Cassie was asked if her brother flew back after his fight with Gabbie. Since Gabbie was reported missing, protesters have stood outside the Laundrie family home. Many have urged Brian's parents to talk to officials about what they might know. Thank you to the anonymous person who sent us a dozen Dunkin' Donuts and iced coffee outside the home of Brian Laundrie while we seek justice for Gabby Petito. Former fugitive says Brian should turn himself in. Seth Ferranti, a former fugitive who was on the run for 2 years, advised Brian to surrender to authorities, in an interview with Fox News. Dog the bounty hunter has vowed to locate Gabby Petito's missing fiancé Brian Laundrie before the fugitive's birthday. Alleged sightings of Brian Laundrie have been reported in several different areas, including North Carolina, Canada, Montana, and Alabama. A drone captured Brian's parents doing what appears to be garden work outside of their home. Family lawyer Steve Bertolino said Brian's parents believe he is still in Florida. They previously said they haven't seen Brian since September 14, but have since changed their account. Lisa Chapman, the daughter of Dog the Bounty Hunter, Dwayne Chapman, revealed 5 distinct features to look out for in the search for Brian. They further claimed that his parents did not respond when they told them that they were calling the police to report the couple missing. The footage of Gabbie sobbing to Moab police officers went viral last month as the department came under fire for failing to do more to protect the 22-year-old hiker. Over the course of the 77-minute video, officers Eric Pratt and Daniel Robbins appear to compare Gabbie to their anxious wives 7 times and tell her to take a shower to calm down. Both officers seem unfazed by Gabbie's distress, with Robbins at one point misspelling her name as Petito instead of Petito. One of the protesters said they've spoken to neighbors who said they've heard screams coming from Laundrie's parents' household where Laundrie and Petito were staying, but Cassie said they've gotten into fights, like screaming, but nothing regarding domestic violence or what's been reported. As Cassie Laundrie and her husband Jim faced protesters in front of their home, she is the only family member to speak about the case. She disclosed that her family is not speaking to her, and urged Brian to turn himself in. I told Cassie Laundrie and her husband Jim that I won't be protesting in front of their house anymore. On Tuesday, Gabbie's family also confirmed that her remains were identified by her stepdad Jim Schmidt after FBI agents described that they had discovered a piece of clothing believed to be her favorite sweater. He then broke the news to his wife and Gabbie's dad and stepmom. Gabbie's family refused to comment on who they believe is responsible for her death but spoke of their heartbreak when her body was found. Jim Schmidt was in Wyoming when the FBI found remains they believed to be Gabbie. Jim confirmed that Gabbie had a sweater like the one found and called the rest of the family as they awaited an official autopsy. Sleuths aren't buying that the parents were mistaken about when Brian left for an alleged hike. Brian's parents originally claimed that he left on September 14, but their lawyer has since said that they were mistaken, and that he left the day before. Cassie Laundrie pleaded with her parents to cooperate with authorities as the search for Brian drags on. I don't know if my parents are involved, Cassie told Good Morning America on Tuesday. Brian Laundrie left fiancée Gabby Petito by herself in a Utah hotel for multiple days after the two had a fight that ended in police pulling them over in response to a domestic violence complaint. Brian returned to his home in Northport, Florida on August 17 for 5 days before flying back to Utah and then returning home in the van alone again on September 1. The purpose of the trip was to help his father clean out a storage unit containing he and Gabbie's possessions, according to his sister Cassie Laundrie. Online sleuths want to know what was inside Brian Laundrie's storage locker that he allegedly flew home to clean out while he was on a cross-country road trip with his fiancée Gabby Petito. On Tuesday, the Laundrie family attorney confirmed that Brian flew back to Florida and his locker was emptied. Brian flew home to Tampa from Salt Lake City on August 17 and returned to Salt Lake City on August 23 to rejoin Gabbie, Steve Bertolino said in a statement. He then quit a second time while working for Moab Police Department, but appears to have returned to law enforcement yet again before being thrown into the spotlight in the Petito case. Cassie Laundrie said she, Brian, and their parents enjoyed s'mores at the campground they visited after Brian returned home from his cross-country trip without Gabbie. Cassie Laundrie says she, Brian Laundrie, and their parents all had s'mores at the campground. Dwayne Dog the Bounty Hunter gave authorities evidence that he believes might be linked to Brian. Dog's spokesperson said he hopes to authenticate the Appalachian Trail lead. Since Gabbie was reported missing, protesters have stood outside the Laundrie family home. Many have urged Brian's parents to talk to officials about what they might know. Thank you to the anonymous person who sent us a dozen Dunkin' Donuts and iced coffee outside the home of Brian Laundrie while we seek justice for Gabby Petito. Dog the Bounty Hunter is reportedly currently following a tip from a hiker who said Brian was spotted on the Appalachian Trail. Davies, 53, described the driver as looking messed up at around 12:35 a.m. local time and recalled how the man he believes to be Brian admitted that he was lost. With police recently trying to limit reporters from park and set up near the Laundrie's home, TMZ reported that neighbors are charging members of the media up to $3,500 per week to set up on their property. Brian Laundrie's neighbors are charging media outlets up to $3,500 a week to set up on their property.